that is the answer, Mr. Sharma. And I'm thankful that you suggested this and you also made the first question. So another 5 more minutes, we are going to keep this open to questions on the Enlightenment Life book. Anybody who's got the Enlightenment Life book, it's for you to ask questions, all right? So the next question I have in front of me is again from Mr. Krishna Sharma. Why they are after money, land, buildings, gold, and power? Because people think money is happiness. People think having more name and fame is happiness. But unfortunately, if happiness belonged to the rich, then the rich should be glad. But you look around and see that many of them are sad. Therefore, more money does not equal to more happiness. The man who has the largest number of lands in this world is not the happiest man in this world. People are basically wanting happiness. So, Krishna Sharma, when you say that everybody wants money, land, building, gold, power, people want happiness. Everybody in this world wants happiness. But happiness is like a shadow. The more you chase it, the further it goes away. People think that happiness is like a peak. You climb the peak of achievement. No, happiness is not a peak. There is no peak. It's an illusion. Therefore, people are chasing something which does not exist. So it is for us to realize that land, money, buildings, and gold will not give you happiness. Alice has a question, how to start with writing the notes after each chapter? Shall I note down my own experience about each title of the chapter? Thank you, Alice. Many of you have got the book. And what you need to do with the book is you don't have to ask me what to write, what not to write. This book is your life book. It is your life. So what you need to do is you need to read the book. The book tells you, for example, I have the book here. I have the book here, right? So the first thing you need to do, Alice, and the rest of you who has got the book, the first thing you need to do is to open this book and to put your name on it. So I hope you've done that, because this book should not become anybody else's book. This is not a public book. This is a private. See, what have I done? I put my name, AiR. So you have to put your name on the book. And then if it gets lost, put your details. So if somebody finds the book, they should return it to you. And start on the book. The book has got contents. Glance at the contents. Understand what this book has got. Once you glance at the contents, then you come on to the chapter number 1, part A, Introduction to Enlightenment. When you come to Introduction to Enlightenment, you have got notes here. These notes are for you to answer. For example, what am I seeking in life? Alice, the first question is, what am I seeking in life? So you have got to write it down, because if you don't write what you want, then you can't have enlightenment. Enlightenment is a journey which starts with going on a quest. You have to go on a quest. You have to search. You may search for happiness. You may search for a problem-free life. You may search for God. You may search for nirvana or moksha. It doesn't matter what you're searching. Mr. Edkari, are you getting my point? You have got the kitab aapke paas aaya hai. Abhi, fill the book. If you have any hesitation, fill it by pencil. If you have a hesitation, so that you can rub it out. But don't have hesitation. Or some people may say, somebody asked me the question, can I write in pencil or pen? You write whatever you like. You like pencil, write pencil. Because you write in pencil, you can rub it out. Correct? If you want to write in pen, yeah, Alice is showing me I'm writing a pencil, I'm using a pencil. And you have a good eraser so that you can rub it out. It's very important for you. This is your life book, my friends. This is the book of your life. It is the most valuable treasure of your life. You need to value this, because then only you will be able to interact with yourself. This is not, I'm here to help you. I'm here to guide you. So if you want any assistance, you want to answer particular questions, I will be happy to answer your questions. But you need to fill in the pages. You need to get onto this book, and you need to don't run through the whole book. Start page by page. Go slow. Answer page by page. What am I seeking? Go page by page. There are questions on the left-hand side. Put it down. Then read the right-hand side. That is the way. And when you get stuck, you ask me. You tell me where you are stuck. There are some more questions, but I have to stop now. The question from Samiruddin, happiness or success? Which we have to choose. Samiruddin, it's up to you. You can choose happiness or you can choose success. Remember this, You are running after success because you think success is happiness. There is a part in the book Samiruddin which says success is not happiness. Happiness is success. Download the book and please read the book on internet and Google Play. The book is available. Samiruddin. The book says success will not give happiness. Happiness will give success. So I think you need to answer the book, and I'm available on my number. Administrators putting my number. If anybody wants to ask questions, I'm replying questions within 24 hours. Every day, at least once or twice, I'm replying questions on that number, 55555. Last one or two questions. I have two more questions. Abhinav Panwar. Can bhakti alone give enlightenment? Yes. Bhakti can give. Devotion can give. Because bhakti mein hai shakti. Jisse hoti mukti. Bhakti will create the energy which will give you jnana. Bhakti alone cannot give you enlightenment, but bhakti can give you jnana. Bhakti will make the wisdom reach you. It is your love for God, your devotion for God, your yearning for God. God can fill you with wisdom in a matter of 10 seconds. You can be filled with wisdom. So bhakti se hai, bhakti mein hai shakti, jisse hogi mukti. So you have got to have bhakti. It's very important. Last question before we get on to today's topic. Can you please explain about liberation? From January. Liberation is freedom from all problems. January, that is the topic of today's discussion. Today's discussion is many problems, one solution. And you are asking me the answer to that right now. So today's love talk is very important for you. Liberation means freedom. Freedom from all miseries, all problems, all sorrows. Freedom from the cycle of death and rebirth. How can you escape death? How can you escape rebirth? There is a way. So Janvi, your question was this. Can you please explain liberation? I've given you a brief explanation, and now in this talk, you will have the full explanation. So please be present. Don't leave the talk, Janvi. So my dear friends, thank you for this 10 minutes time, which Krishna Sarma, we should thank him. He is the master of the suggestion, and he said we should have 10 minutes of this, right? So with that note, we are getting on to today's topic. Many problems. It's on the screen. Many problems, one solution. Look at the problems on the screen. Fear, stress, poverty, unemployment, career problems, failure, success is a problem, worries, depression, suicide. Oh, the problems are plenty. And today I will answer a question to any problem. You have any problem, I'll give solution. Any problem you have, I'll give you solution. You may wonder, what, are you a magician or? Are you a magician, Mr. Ed? No, I'm not a magician. But I will tell you that every problem in this world has got one simple solution. It is for us to realize what is this simple solution. Today's talk will tell you. Today's talk is enlightenment. Unfortunately, I'm happy that many of you are amazing. Whether it is Girish, Sangam Gupta, Krishna Sarma, Veena, Sudeep, Ashok, Hitkari, Sunandar Goyal, Ajit, Kumar Swami, Samit Gupta. You are coming for this call every week. Correct? Prabhakar, Vagesan, Siva. There is no gap, including new people like Janvi, Ashok Chotwani, Sagai Raj, Hema and Ashok, Alice, Srikant, Motkula Anand. You are not missing. Sarah. Sarah's far away. Mr. Devidas Budrani, he's not in India. But still, these are out of India. But they are coming on this call week after week because this is the ultimate goal. The goal is enlightenment. And today, you will learn that you can solve any problem. You can solve any problem in your life, including Mr. Abhinav Panwar. He's joined recently. Harsh Agarwal, you are coming. Ashok Maheshwari, Shivam Ashok and his missus. They come on this call week after week. Gautam, Vipul Raj, all of you. Rajaratnam, I can't see your name, but I can see you and I know your face. So you are all coming on this call. Lakshmi, Karan Singh, Rajendra Makani, you are coming. Mona, every week. Shikha Singh, I miss Chandresh, I don't know where he is. Narayan, Rekha Parwani, Kishan, all of you are coming. Even Meera Mirchandani. It's amazing that you're on this enlightenment call every week. And today you will learn the secret to solve any problem in the world. Any problem in the world. You know, once there was a man, He said, he went to a group and he asked them the question. He said, how many of you have problems? And they all put up their hand. Everybody put up their hand. He said, how many of you love problems? And nobody put up their hand. Nobody put up their hand. Then he said, how many of you want a life without any problem? So everybody put up their hand. We want a life without any problem. How many of you are ready to come? I will take you to a place where there is no problem. Everybody put up their hands. And then he said, you know where we are going? He said, we are not going to Hindustan, not Pakistan, not Afghanistan, not Kazakhstan, not Uzbekistan. Then where we are going? We are going to Kabristan. We are going to Kabristan because in Kabristan there is no problem. How many of you want to come to Kabristan? Nobody wants to go. Nobody wants. Everybody put their hand down. If you go to Kabristan, there is no problem. Those who don't understand Hindi, he said, I'm not taking you Switzerland, Finland, Iceland, Greenland, and New Zealand. I am taking you to the land of the dead. I am taking you to the land where there is no problem. Sudeep, you want to go? Kabristan? Nobody wants to go. But today I am not taking you to Kabristan. I am taking you to a solution. Without going to Kabristan, I will take you to a place where there is no problem. I am promising you that if you are alert today, you will be free from all the problems in the world today. Today, not tomorrow. Big promise, huh? But yes, if you really want to have a problem-free life, you can. How are you going to achieve this? There are hundreds of problems in this world. You know, what is the solution? I'm writing a new book. The book is called Many Problems, One Solution. It's a secret. All the problems in the world, they have got only one solution. What is that solution? Everybody's asking, what is the solution? What is the solution? Tell me. So people have been taught, a problem-free life is an illusion. It does not exist. It's like a mirage in the desert. Any speaker, you go to YouTube and they talk about problems, you know what they'll tell you? Oh, there is nothing like a problem-free life. Every human being has problems. So the question is, how do you live a life without problems? That is the challenge. So there is a way, and today we will learn that way. All right? How we can solve all problems, all problems. We can overcome in just one sweep. So let us try to understand what are problems. What's the problem? The word problem comes from the word pro bolo. Pro bolo. Pro bolo means something which is thrown in front of you. When something is thrown in front of you, oh my God. You look at somebody and say, oh, sar ka dard aa gaya, SKD. Somebody says they don't say that. Remember, somebody does SKD in front of you means it means sar ka dard. They're telling headache is come. No, so when you have a problem, you look at somebody as a problem. There's a big problem, right? So what is a pro bolo? Something that is thrown in front of you. It may be different types of problem, but you hate problems. So every living creature in this world has problems. There is nobody in this world who doesn't have problems. I am not saying you will not have problems. Hitkari, am I saying like that? Ajitek, I am saying there is a solution to all problems. Correct? What is that magical solution to all problems? Krishna Sarma, you get the point? There are problems. I am not telling you there's a life without problem, but there's a life which has a solution to all the problems in this world. So there are many problems in this world. Fear, worry, anxiety, stress, depression, one type of problem. Sometimes one of my associates, she's a fan of Deepika Padukone. So she tells me, Miss Deepika, who is a star, she has got depression. Have you heard? It's there in the newspaper, I believe it's there in the magazines, that she has got depression. And somebody thinks, Deepika Padukone, kya nahi hai uske paas? She has everything. She's beautiful, she is rich, she's famous, she has a family, she has good family, good parents, she has money, she has good everything. Why is she in depression? That is one of the problems. And because she doesn't know the solution. She's not on the Zoom call, unfortunately. Then there are other people. They have got hate, revenge, jealousy, anger. Another type of problem. People are living a life. They are living with anger. तुम्हारे को मैं तुम्हारा खून कर दूंगा. मैं तुम्हारा खून पी लूंगा. Have you heard people saying like that? 20 times. For small matters, for little matters. I was in Srinagar today. I was in Srinagar and I was going near the Dal Lake. The driver told the policeman, "Sir, हमारा hotel इधर है." He said, "तुम्हारे को मार दूंगा. तुम्हारा सारा दम झूठ मत बोलो. तुम्हारे को मार दूंगा." What did the driver tell the policeman? He just told him, "हमारा hotel इधर है. झूठ मत बोलो. तुम्हारे को मार दूंगा." So the point is, he had anger. And why this anger? What is the reason? It's a problem. In the end of the day, this policeman is not happy going home with anger. You think he's happy? Oh no. The challenge is that we have to learn. We have to learn how to overcome these problems. The problem is that we, human beings, we are full of negative emotions. What are these emotions? Like I told you, one is fear, worry, stress, depression. Some people want to commit suicide. Why? Why are there people in this world who want to commit suicide? Oh, it's a big problem because they're not happy, because they are living lives which are so miserable. So we have to learn how to overcome these problems. The problem is, for example, suddenly have a problem. What's the problem? My battery went dead. The battery went dead. I have to solve the problem. So what do? I put the charger, I switch it on. There is a way. But today's talk, how do you solve all the problems in the world? There are some people who have physical problems. You know what? Somebody tells me, my bone is broken. And the doctor is saying, I cannot repair this bone. It cannot cure. Even a fracture, a cast cannot help it. I cannot do a surgery. My bone, it is broken into pieces. Osteoporosis. I have got a problem. How do I solve it? I am suffering. Somebody has got cancer. Correct? People have got many problems, physical problems. Can we find a solution to that? Of course you can. There is a solution to physical problems. Today you will find it. Today you will find a solution to all the problems in the world. Every single problem. The book that I've written, it says many problems, one solution. Many problems, but one solution to all the problems in the world. And this is not a lie. Today, you will be able to find the solution to every possible problem of your life. Some people have a problem of failure. You know, they say, everything I did in my life, I fail. I want success. I don't have success. What do? I'm a failure. I failed in school. I'm failing in every single thing. I'm a failure. I'm a failure. My problem is failure. How do I solve this? Oh, I have a solution. I have a solution to even that. There is a solution to every single problem in this world. Somebody said, I have a problem with relationship. My husband, he treats me like a slave. He beats me. He drinks. He abuses me. Physical abuse, verbal abuse. I said, you're not the only one. So remember this. There's a solution to your problem. How are you going to find a solution to the problem? Because there is a solution, whether it is physical. Suppose you are having a problem, you are having pain. Some people are having disease. Somebody said, I have paralysis. We'll come to it. How do you solve the problem of paralysis? How do you solve the problem of sickness, of health? Somebody says, you can't solve my problem. I said, why I can't solve a problem? Because my heart is broken. Oh, ये दिल तो टूट गया. And to add the problem, I had to add this dil to toot comes Bollywood. Every second movie will tell you, darde dil, darde jigar. The problems don't solve. So there are problems. There are relationship problems. There are heartache, heart issue, heartbreaks. There are love issues. Oh, one man said, I have a big problem. I said, what's the problem? To my wife. What does your wife do? And I go to office. She doesn't let me work. I said, what does she do? You know, from the time I enter my office, within 10 minutes, I have 100 missed calls. I said, that's a record. How can she give 100 missed calls in 10 minutes? He says, she's mad. So I said, there's a solution. There's a solution. Even to that, find out. Find out how you can avoid those missed calls. Find out a solution. I'm not here to give you a solution of your wife's missed calls, but I'm here to give you a solution of all the problems. How to not suffer from your wife's missed call, I will tell you today. You can get 100 missed calls, but you can be singing a song. La 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 la. You can be singing and you should not get upset. How? How can you escape from life's problems? Success, poverty. Somebody said, Ayo, you're talking rubbish. You're living in Srinagar and you're telling me I don't have a proper house, I don't have enough money, I don't have salary, I don't have job, I have a financial crisis. I can't pay my bills. I'm unemployed. Today's Zoom call will give you a solution. Today's Zoom call will give you a solution. Because I will answer, at the end of the Zoom call, I will answer all your questions. And I will give you a solution to all your problems, whatever be your problem. So today I will try to give you more time because I don't want you to feel that I didn't give you enough time to ask questions on problems. So today I'll give you time. People feel lonely. There's a man, he says, I have a big problem. I said, okay, what's the problem? Where are you? He says, I am living in New York, in Manhattan. I said, you're living in Manhattan, New York, and you have a problem of loneliness. How come you are lonely living in New York, in Manhattan? He said, that's the problem. There's so much noise here. I feel lonely. How do you solve the problem of loneliness when you're living in Manhattan? Manhattan is the busiest place in the world. How can you be living in Manhattan and having a problem? Well, that is the problem. And how do you solve this problem? There is a way. You have to learn the way to solve the problem. And today you will learn. There is no end, my dear friends, to the list of problems. As a child, you know what problem we have? As a child, we have a problem of examination anxiety. Children, they can't sleep because they have exams tomorrow. Of course, today is very much, children are having fun. How are children having fun? Because Zoom. Everybody's getting 70 marks, 80 marks, 90 marks. Because the teachers have no choice, no? Teacher cannot fail a child on Zoom. बच्चे को fail करके क्या करेंगे Zoom में? There is no fail. The child will say, मेरा internet connection ठीक नहीं था, मेरा tab ठीक नहीं था. So there is no fail. The children are happy in a way. But the problems are unlimited. People have problems because they have desires. The desires create stress. People have got problems because they don't attain their desires. They become disappointed. They become discouraged. They feel defeated. People have different problems. How can you solve all your problems? The new book is titled Many Problems, One Solution. One solution. And the solution will be revealed today. So, my dear friends, what is the cause of the problem? What is the root cause of the problem? The root cause is that I suffer. How do I suffer? I suffer physical pain of the body. I have sickness, disease, pain. But there was a person who had cancer and he had very, 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 very advanced cancer, but he did not suffer. You know the name Krishna Sharma? His name was Ramakrishna Paramahansa. Ramakrishna Paramahansa, he was the guru of Swami Vivekananda. He had cancer, but he knew the secret. Many problems, one solution. He knew how to do it. So one problem we all face is we have pain in the physical body. How do I solve a fracture? How do I solve a ligament tear? How can I overcome the pain of the physical body? Then the next problem is, I told you the tough things, stuff like the Deepika Padukone says, I'm depression. Depression is what? Depression is very severe stress. Oh, I am so much worried. I am so much worried. Have you heard people, Hitkari, have you heard people saying like that? Oh, I am very, very worried. मुझे बहुत चिंता है, चिंता, चिंता. And yesterday I was hearing one positive thinker, he was speaking in the TV. He said, या तो चिता हो, या तो चिंता हो. He said, if you have chinta, then you're not using chita. Means you burn the chinta. Chita laga do. So the point is, how do you, it's easy to say, right? How do you eliminate problems of the mind? The mind, the thought, if depression is not taken care, it leads to the next problem, suicide. People commit suicide. There was a man in Bangalore. He was the owner of Cafe Coffee Day, 6,000 restaurants. He had a wealth of over 10,000 crores. He jumped in the river and killed himself. He committed suicide. Why did he commit suicide? Why did that gentleman, Mr. Siddharth, why did he jump in the river and why did he die? Because the misery of the mind, his stress, his worry, his anxiety led him to a state of depression, and the state of depression led him to suicide, and he died. This is the real story. This is not a fairy tale. So there are some people who are living with anger. Some people are living with hate. They hate. I know a man who has been hating his sister for 25 years. So I asked him the question. I used to call him uncle because I know him well. I told him, uncle, why do you hate your sister from 25 years? You know what answer he told me? He said, because 25 years, I am the elder brother. 25 years back, when my sister's son was getting married, she gave invitation cards to everybody and she didn't invite me. She gave me the invitation card last. I hate her. I hate her. I hate her from 25 years and I will hate her till I die. This is what he told me. And I told him, when you are hating her, how does it help you? He said, no, it doesn't help me. I'm the most unhappy man. Because I hate her, I'm so miserable. I said, would you like to leave this hate? He said, yes. How to leave the hate? You see what she did? She insulted me. How can she insult me like this? I am the elder brother. I hate her. I hate her. I hate her. Oh, you may be meeting people like this. If you're not meeting people who are hating, you meet people who are trying to take revenge. There are people who are trying to take revenge. They're waiting. I will teach you a lesson. One day you see, one day you come, I will beat you. One day I will kill you. One day you see, I get a chance, see what I do to you. There are people who are having a problem of hate, revenge. And there are some women, they come and tell me, I have a big problem. I ask them, what's the problem? They say, I feel very shy to tell you. I say, no, tell me, how can I solve your problem if you don't tell me? They say, whenever my neighbor, whenever she wears a new jewelry, when she wears new jewelry, I get so angry. I get so angry. How dare every time she will wear new jewelry and then she will purposely, take a photograph and she will put on Instagram and Facebook and she will say, I bought these pearls from here and I bought this jewelry. I said, so what's the problem? Let her buy now. No, I am very jealous. I am very jealous. So do you understand these problems? These problems are day-to-day problems of life. We have problems of the body, heart attack, COVID, big problem, right? Now COVID is becoming more, they say. Second wave, third wave, fourth wave. Problem, no, there's no COVID come to you. There is no pain to your body. But it's in your mind. What is your problem? Fear. When you overcome the fear of death, you start to live. You've just released a book. It will be out in the market in the next few weeks. When you overcome the fear of death, you start to live. So, my dear friends, what is the cause of the problem? And how can you find a solution to these problems? So here it is. There is physical problems, there is emotional problems, and there is the problem of agony, hate, revenge, jealousy, anger. The solution, the solution is enlightenment. This is the solution. The solution is in your hands. What did, I think Jyoti asked? Janvi asked. Janvi asked the question, what is liberation? Enlightenment is liberation from all problems. How can you be liberated from all these problems? Through enlightenment. One solution to all the problems of your life. And I will explain it today. I will explain to you how this can be the one solution to all problems. And you can ask me any problem, and I will give the solution from this one word. What is the one word? Enlightenment. Enlightenment is overcoming ignorance and realizing the truth. What is the realization? What is this enlightenment? My body has a problem. My body has a problem. I don't have a problem. My body has cancer. I don't have cancer. I am not the body that has cancer. My mind is depressed, but I refuse to be depressed. I am not the mind. When we realize we are not the body suffers a fracture. The body may be paralyzed, but I am not paralyzed because my consciousness cannot be paralyzed. When we realize that we are not the body may have physical pain, but you can solve the problem. Today's world, if you have got cancer, you can take morphine. There are drugs. Today, when you go for a root canal, in the past, you could not, you would suffer. Today, they give you anesthesia. Surinder Goyal will tell us. Surinder Goyal, when you take anesthesia, will the body still have pain? Surinder Goyal is the specialist in the anesthesia department. He's a senior qualified medical professional, and he's on our call. And today we will invite him to answer that question. Because the challenge is this: the body has pain, but I am not the body that is having pain. When I realize that, all physical suffering comes to an end. The second set of problems are fear, worry, stress, depression, suicide. These are the problems of the mind. But you are not the mind. Enlightenment is, I am not the body. I am not the mind. When you are enlightened that I am not the body, I am not the mind, your problems come to an end. Today, as you're listening to me, you will say, no, but how? Because you're not yet enlightened. The moment you are enlightened, then all your problems will solve. I can guarantee you, if you are enlightened and your problems are not solved, I'm willing to give you anything. I'm willing to insure you, because I have my own personal experience and the experience of hundreds of enlightened beings, not thousands. I don't know thousands, but there are dozens of enlightened beings who are free from the pain of the body, from the misery of the mind. How do you overcome anger? How do you overcome hate, revenge, and jealousy? These are the problems of the ego. We are not the ego, but we don't understand this. When will we realize we are not the ego? We will realize this when we realize that we are the divine soul. Unless we realize we are not the body, not the mind, we are not the ego, we will never realize we are the divine soul. This is the one solution. The moment you are enlightened that you are the divine soul, all problems come to an end. All physical problems come to an end. All emotional problems come to an end. All problems of the agony of the ego comes to an end. But then you'll ask me, how? How can I be enlightened? That's why you have got the Enlightenment book. You all have the Enlightenment book. How are you going to use the Enlightenment book to make your problems disappear? You can make your problems disappear. There is a systematic way. It's not a real secret. It needs the grace of the divine. It needs hard work. You can solve any problem in your life if you realize the truth. What is enlightenment? Enlightenment is overcoming ignorance. Enlightenment is realizing the truth. Unfortunately, we live in a world of fairy tales, of myth and stories. We are ignorant of the reality. From the time we are small, we have been taught fairy tales. We have been taught Santa Claus and Ganesha. We have been taught to believe some things blindly. We have been taught that God lives in the temple and a church. Therefore, we don't search inside. God is inside. Enlightenment is finding the God inside. Next week, our topic of our Zoom call is God realization. It's a very interesting topic next week. It's one of the toughest subjects, a very, very tough subject. Next week, I'm going to be talking on on God realization. And why it's important is because this is the most advanced stage of enlightenment. But I want to give you a little trailer on that. Unfortunately, we human beings, we live as me. Me is the mind and ego. Huh? You keep on saying, I am Sanjay Das. I am Sanjay Das. I am Sanjay Das. You are not Sanjay Das. That's a lie. Your name is Sanjay Das. So you start, if you really want enlightenment, you take these baby steps forward. You take the steps forward by realizing what you realize. I am not a Hindu or a Sardarji or a Christian. No, I am a divine soul. I may have been born in the family of a Hindu. I may believe in Guru Nanak. That is perfectly okay. But you are a divine soul. You are what you're wearing outside. Just because I'm wearing a t-shirt, I think my t-shirt says CK. That does not mean I am CK. No, I am not CK. I am wearing CK. I don't know what is CK, I'm not sure. But I'm wearing CK. I am wearing CK. Somebody gave me this t-shirt as a gift. So I'm wearing CK, but I am not CK. I am air, Atma. I am the Atma in Ravi. This is Ravi. My mother called this fellow Ravi. This fellow is Ravi. I am not this fellow. I am the Atma in this fellow. When you realize that, you are enlightened. And the moment you are enlightened, all problems of your life are solved. I can guarantee you every single problem of your life will be solved if you have enlightenment. And enlightenment liberates you from all the miseries of this world. Whether it is physical, Surinder Goyal, if a person is having a serious pain in the body and we give anesthesia, do they still feel the pain? Pain is gone, right? So there is a way in today's modern medicine. If the person has cancer, we give drug like morphine and we give opioids, and these opioids, they solve the problem of pain. But we human beings still suffer because we think I have cancer. We think the body is suffering because we don't realize I am not the body. The body is like this t-shirt. I am not this. This is what is the skin. I am the one within. Enlightenment makes us realize I am not what appears to be on the outside. I am the one who is inside. Once we realize we are the divine soul, all our problems will be solved. All our misery will be solved. Therefore, my dear friends, we need to move forward on this journey of enlightenment. I am happy to answer any question, any problem, and how your problem can be solved, how enlightenment can solve any and every problem in this world. The problems in this world are thousands. I cannot list the problems in this world. Somebody comes and tells me, I have a legal problem. Every day I have to go to court. Yeah, you have a legal problem because you think you do not realize you are the divine soul. You are letting the legal problem trouble you because you believe that you are that individual who is going to live and die going to court. But going to court is like a drama. In the end, whether you win the case or you lose the case. Suppose you're fighting for a land. Suppose you're fighting for a land and you have a serious problem in court. When you lose the case, you lose the land. And if you win the case, you win the land. But next, you're going to die. When you die, it hardly matters whether you win the land or you lose the land. But the ego is not willing to accept it. When you let go of the ego, you let go of all the problems of your life. And my dear friends, I would like to answer the rest of the time. We think we have 15 minutes. I would like to answer questions. I hope all of you have got questions on problems. I'm sure you do. And one who is enlightened with today's talk, they will realize that life is like a dream. Huh? So suppose Ajitek Dada, suppose I'm asking Ajitek a question. Suppose you're having a dream, Ajitek, sun raha hai na? Suppose you're having a dream and you're in the ocean and you're sinking. Problem or not a problem? Big problem. You're sinking in the ocean. Now sharks are coming and attacking you. Shark has eaten your hand. Now shark is pulling your dadi. Shark is pulling your beard and shark is going to take your face in the mouth. Ajitek, big problem or no problem? Big problem. But you wake up from the dream. It was just a dream. Ajitek. What happens to all the problems? Ajitek, what happens to all the problems? Is it still there or gone? Ajitek. Raja Janak Chari bol rahe. He's busy. His mind is busy thinking something else. I think all of you paid attention, right? The problems are gone. But we don't realize life is like a dream. The difference is that a dream ends when we wake up. The dream called life ends at death. At death, whatever be your loans, whatever be your heartbreaks, whatever be your relationship problems, whatever be your court problems, whatever be your physical problems, whatever be your emotional problems, at death, Pratima, will all your problems continue at death or your problems will be over? Will be over. You know it. You know it very well. But we don't realize the truth. And we live with our problems. We live with our problems because we cling on to the problems. It is not the problem of the problem. It is the problem of us clinging. When we let go of our problems, the problems let go of us. What did I tell you? I hope you captured this. When we let go of our problems, then our problems let go of us. Margaret, if you keep on clinging to your problems, will the problems let go of you? No. What should you do, Margaret? Let go of your problems. Let go. Let go of your problems. Tell your problems, you don't belong to me. I am not Margaret. I am the divine soul. I am the Holy Spirit. I am the Holy Spirit. My problems, you can do nothing to me. You can trouble my body, my dear problem, but you can't touch me because I am the Holy Spirit. I am the divine spirit. You damn it cannot do anything to me. Correct, Margaret? If that is the attitude, then do we have a problem? Then we don't have any problem. Because my nose may be having a problem. My nose may be bleeding, but that's the problem with my nose bleeding, not with me. Because I am the divine spirit. I am the Holy Spirit. We need that enlightenment. We need that enlightenment so the problems will disappear. The problems will only last for those people who live with ignorance. They don't realize the truth about life. They don't realize the magic. The magic is a simple logic. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the ego. I am not the one who's facing these problems of the world. This world is a leela. It's a drama. A natak, in a movie, there are so many problems. You don't bring the problems home. You watch it like a movie. You become the observer. You become the witness. How do you become the witness and the observer? When you discover the solution. Many problems. Many problems. Many problems. One solution. One solution, enlightenment, realization, overcoming the ignorance. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the ego. I am the Holy Spirit. I am the divine soul. The new book will explain this in detail. I'm just finishing this book. This book will be published next month, but I'm just finishing to write it in Kashmir. I showed you all the beautiful Dal Lake today. Some of you who were there in the beginning of the call, I showed you the beautiful Dal Lake. The new book is titled Many Problems, One Solution. This Zoom is just a trailer. Let's get on to questions. before the time is over. I hope you've seized the answer of how to solve all your problems. You have a choice. What are you waiting for? Dump all your problems today, and you have the Enlightenment book in your hands. Pick up the Enlightenment book and work towards it. Of course, everybody has problem putting it together. Of course, everybody has problem, but there is one solution to all problems. It is realization that we are not the body, mind, and ego that suffers. Once we realize we are free from problems, let go of your problems, and your problems will let go of you. The answer is enlightenment. Next week, remember the topic is God realization. You can't find God, you have to realize God. That is next week. We are going to talk on God realization. You can't find God, you have to realize God. We are getting on to question and answers now. I hope we have enough time, but let us. Okay, the first question we have, I think this question, I believe, is already answered from Krishna Sharma. So we are going on. Where are the questions pasted? Where are the questions? I don't see questions pasted. To you, Rishi, where are the questions pasted? Okay. So let us find. I hope the questions should be here somewhere. Okay. From here are the questions. All right. So all the questions here. Let us start. Srikanth. Srikanth has a question. And the question is, what is humility and surrender? Humility is to understand, I am nothing. I am nothing. Thou art everything. You are everything, O Lord. I am nothing. Humility is the ring telling the gold, dear gold, I appear as a ring. I am nothing. Without you, dear gold, I am nothing. Humility is telling God, oh God, you are the life inside me. You are the divine inside me. What am I? I am nothing. So what is humility, dear Srikanth? In one word, what is humility? Realizing the truth. I am nothing. I am nothing. What is surrender? Surrender is telling God, you are everything. So you remember, if you look at the answer that you asked for, dear Srikanth, the first answer is, what is humility? I am nothing. What is surrender? It is, you are everything. Srikanth, you've not heard this song. Srikanth, have you heard this song? The song says, समर्पण करना जीवन जो ये जिसने दिया वही संभालेंगे जो भी होता उनके हाथों में है क्यों है डरना उनकी मर्जी है छोड़ दे जीवन अपना उनके हाथों में जिंदगी छोड़ दे जो होगा स्वीकार कर ले ये लीला तो सब उनकी है समर्पण हमको करना है हो अर्पण श्रीकांत, यू नो हिंदी? नो श्रीकांत, हिंदी आता है ना? यू नो हिंदी? यस और नो? लाइक दिस, यस और नो? हाँ. So I sang the song for you. समर्पण करना. Please pick up the song. Write to me. I'll send the song to you. Okay. Srikanth, we have gave Srikanth's answer. We are going on to the next. We have quite a few questions today. Second is from Priya Brata. How to stay away from loneliness? Priya Brata, how do you stay away from loneliness? By realizing that you and me are one. When the right hand doesn't realize that the right hand and the left hand belong to me, the right hand can be lonely. But if the right hand realizes there is a left hand, I can put my hands together and say, I'm not alone. The right hand can say, there's a left hand, I'm not alone. So when you realize that God is inside you, Priya, when you realize that the divine is inside you, that you are the divine soul, then you'll never feel lonely. Even if there is even if there is nobody with you and you're in Antarctica, if you're living for 6 months in a research facility in Antarctica, you will not feel lonely because you are the divine soul. You will feel oneness with the penguins. You will see all the penguins and you will become friends with the penguins, and you will not feel lonely, Priya, because that is the reality of life. We are never alone. God is with us. So that is the way to stay away from loneliness. It is again enlightenment. It is realization of the truth of who am I. The minute I realize the truth that I am the divine soul, all loneliness will come to an end. But we have to realize this truth that I am the divine soul. Okay. Next question I have from Harsh. Problem is our phobia. Harsh, fear is a phobia. Problems are not a phobia. Problems are those that come in front of us. But fear is a phobia. The fear is Harsh, FEAR means false expectation appearing real. Suppose you have a fear of dying of a disease. You have a fear of COVID. You have a fear of dying in a plane accident. Some people have fear of dying in road accident. They don't even go to the road. They sit in their house because they think the moment they go to the road, they have a phobia. Some people don't even go to the bathroom because they're scared of lizards, because the bathroom there is lizard. So this is a phobia. But problems are pro bolo, something that comes and you have to learn to solve the problem by realization. Lakshmi, how to overcome fear? Do the things you fear and the fear will disappear. Do the things you fear because fear is not real. Danger is real. Lakshmi, danger is real. Suppose somebody came and told me, I'm very scared of cockroach. What to do? I caught cockroach by the hair. I caught the cockroach and gave in their hand. I said, hold no, no, no. I said, hold one minute. They held the cockroach with 1 minute. They held the cockroach. The cockroach is not doing anything. You know, if you hold the cockroach with its too long hair, it cannot do anything. Can it do anything? It cannot do anything. From that day, the fear went away. So do the things you fear. Narayan, sometimes there is no solution. Dear Narayan, if there is no enlightenment, there will be not sometimes there will no be not sometimes there is no solution. There will never be a solution. There will always be problems. For a person who is enlightened, there is no problems. And the person who is not enlightened, there are only problems. There are always problems. There is no end to problems. So, dear Narayan, I don't know whether you have got a book, the Enlightenment book. Unfortunately, many of you have not collected the book, and the book's first lot is over. The first lot was sent to all of you who have been attending this call regularly. I don't think anybody has missed. But now the second lot of books is going to be printed. And those who are asking for the second lot, we are printing a second lot based on how many we need to print. But many of you who have got the Enlightenment book, I think you have started working on it. How to avoid loneliness? We just answered this question. We are not lonely. Ignorance makes us lonely. The moment it's like feeling. Suppose, my dear, this is from 20S45A0154. That's what the name I have. So, my dear 20S4, my what I can tell you. Suppose you enter a room and you're very lonely and it's very dark. Rajendra, you're following me. Rajendra Makwana, you're following me. You enter a room and you feel very lonely at 3 o'clock in the morning and it's very dark and you enter the room, Rajendra, okay? Then what do? You switch on the light. And when you switch on the light, there are 50 people in the room. Do you still feel lonely? You don't feel lonely. Why you don't feel lonely? Because you switch on the light. So also, when you switch on the light of enlightenment, when you overcome the darkness of ignorance, there is no loneliness. Loneliness is coming only because of the darkness of ignorance. The moment we overcome the darkness of ignorance, Magesh, Maggie, Divya, how to get rid of addiction and distraction. Addiction, addiction is you have given yourself to be a slave of somebody. If you are a slave, you will take it to the grave. So you have to overcome your addiction. by realizing, I told you the solution is only one, I told you. I cannot give you two solutions. All problems have only one solution. I am not the body that is addicted. I am not the mind that is distracted. Dear Maggie, the moment you realize I am the divine soul, I am the Holy Spirit, your problem of addiction and distraction will fall. Just like a piece of metal that is not magnetic drops off a magnet. Only the particles that are iron will stick to the magnet. Other rubber and rubber bands and all those rubbish and dust wood will drop off. So also addictions and distraction will drop off the one who realizes they are the divine soul. So your solution is to realize that you are the divine soul. Navaneet, can you please give us a technique to make our personality better? As a student, I medicate and I'm happy and not distracted. Can you please give us technique or actually to make our personality better? I am not a beautician. I am not here. I cannot make you. I can only tell you how I can make you, Navaneet, to make your personality of a divine soul. If you are a student and you meditate, I think you said medicate, but I think you mean you meditate. If you want to be happy, you don't want to be distracted. You have to practice the habit of silence. And the silence will make you realize the soul within. You are the divine soul, but you don't realize this, Navaneet. Maggie, one more. I was very angry with the person, felt a deep sense of hatred for that person. I wrote about my feelings. Then after a few days, I don't feel the same kind of anger or hatred towards the person, but I feel bad for having those feelings. Yes, Maggie, I appreciate what you say. So you are only writing those feelings of anger and hatred because you don't realize you are the divine soul. You are not the ego. The moment you let go of the ego, you will let go of your anger. You will let go of these bad feelings. So let go of your ego. Dear Maggie, I think you're Divya. Let go of your ego and you will have freedom from all these feelings. Facebook, Anshel Shroff. How is success a problem? Anshel Shroff says, how is success a problem? Oh, success is a big problem. Because one man, he said, I have success. I have $100 million, but my children are not willing to do my work. I have two daughters and two sons, all four. They are useless. I have success. I have a lot of money. I have a lot of business. But my children don't know. My children don't understand. What should I do? I have a big problem with my success. So, Anshel, the problem with this person is the person said, if I did not have success, I wouldn't have had a problem. But I have problem because I have success. So the problem with the person is success. How do I get rid of? I said, drop your success. What nonsense you're talking? How can I drop my success? I worked all my life because I wanted to be successful. Now I am successful, but my children are not willing to do my work. What do I do? Success creates lot of problems. Anchal, people who are successful, they don't know how to manage their money. They don't know how to manage their time. They don't know how to manage their stress, their worry, their anxiety. They have a problem because they have to remain on that success problem. The people who are successful are scared. A person who is Miss World, Anchal, Anchal Shroff, imagine Miss World. Next year, she's going to be dropped off and become nobody. She has a problem with her success. A person who's like Mukesh Ambani, he has a problem. He has a problem to keep his image as India's richest man. He has a big problem. The people who are having success have a big problem. How do you realize? How do you overcome this problem? Let me also give you that answer because I'm here to give you a solution. The solution is for Mr. Ambani to realize that tomorrow, when he dies, nothing will belong to him. Everything will be left behind. He cannot take even 1 rupee with him, even 1 paisa, even 1 paisa, because Mr. Dhirubhai Ambani also could not take 1 paisa. And all the money, his two sons, they fought, and one of them has become a beggar, and one of them has become a billionaire. But that is the reality of life. Dr. Kulveer Singh, more of reading, analysis, and rationality has simply confused me about faith and God. I wish I could be like a blind believer and live more. Dr. Kulveer Singh, you don't have to have more and confusing beliefs. You have to realize the truth. And the truth is the truth. The truth is only this, Dr. Kulveer Singh, that you are the divine soul. This is what even Guru Nanak said. Since you're a Sardarji, I'm telling you this. Ek Omkar, Satyanam. Go and understand the meaning. What is the meaning of what Guru Nanak said? Guru Nanak taught this, that we are the Atma. I am not going against your religion, huh? Dr. Kulveer Singh. I am just repeating what Guru Nanak taught is exactly what enlightenment is all about. But unfortunately, you are getting confused because you are misinterpreting faith and God. Correct? What did Guru Nanak say? You will not pray to me. Bola nahi bola. Guru Nanak ne kaha, Hitkari ji, you are also Sardar ji. Does Guru Nanak say that you should pray to me or you should not pray to me? Kya bolta hai? Should not pray, correct? Then why we all pray to him? Why we are all praying? This is the problem with Dr. Kulveer Singh. Dr. Kulveer Singh, please stay focused on the simple truth, Dr. Kulveer Singh. You, like me, we are both the divine soul. The moment you realize this, Dr. Kulveer Singh, you will be preaching in the next, after a few weeks on this Zoom call, you will be preaching enlightenment because you will be liberated from all problems and all solutions. We have one or two more questions. Just 2, 3, 4 questions. Let me quickly finish them. Veena. My mom, 80, has a compressional fracture in her spine. She had a fall on 19 November. She's getting better, but still on the walker and taking pain medication twice a day. We can't have surgery at this age. How to solve it, please? She's taking supplements and I'm fortifying her meals. Veena Chainani. So Veena Chainani, your mother has a problem of a fracture. But you say, my mom has a compressional fracture in her spine. Yeah, but that is not your mom. That is your mom's body. If your mother was Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Veena, Ramakrishna Paramahansa, when he had, I think, third stage or fourth stage cancer, when they asked him, how are you dealing with your suffering? He said, I am perfectly okay, but this rascal cancer is the problem. So the challenge, dear Veena, is for your mother to realize, even now, if you can make her listen to some of the verses of the Bhagavad Gita, which talk about how we are the divine soul. There are two ways, Veena. One is give her the maximum painkillers because she's already 80. Please don't get carried away by people who tell you there will be side effects. Forget about side effects for a lady who's 80 years old. Your focus is to give her maximum painkillers that reduce her pain to zero. That's all, not beyond that. Only that much painkiller that reduces her pain to zero. That should be your advice. That should be your demand from the doctors. She should not feel any pain. I can tell you from the limited knowledge I have, it is possible. Then make her realize that she is not the body. She is the divine soul, and she will experience a state of ananda. She will live peacefully and blissfully. Ajitek Dadda, God is divine energy. In Vedas, Bhagwan kan kan mein hai. That means God is material energy too. Is it correct? That God is material energy also, or God is only divine energy? Ajitek, your question is little ulta. God is not material energy and God is not divine energy, but God is everything. God is everything. There is nothing other than God. Therefore, you, Ajitek Dadda, is made up of 30 trillion cells of God. The table you're sitting on, the chair and the table you're using today is made up of molecules and atoms, but inside that, there is also God energy. In the mountains, there is God energy. In the river, there is God energy. In the leaf, there is God energy. In the tree, there is God energy. So you have to understand this. For example, you will laugh. You will say, how can the chair have God energy? Huh, Ajitek? Where did the chair come from, Ajitek? Where did it come from? The chair is made out of wood. Where did the wood come from, Ajitek? The wood came from the tree. Where did the tree come from? The tree came from a seed which had life. Now you get the problem, you get the understanding, Ajitek? The source of your chair and table and everything in this world is something that had life. And that life is God. Next week, I will make you understand a little bit more because we are talking of God realization. Next week. Dr. Surinder Goyal, the problem is with our inherent thinking or understanding, which seems me as a mortal body, mind, or ego. In reality, I am the eternal soul. Yes, Surinder, that is what you are. You are not Surinder. You are the soul in Surinder. You are the Atma in Surinder. And I know you have the full knowledge of this. Only challenge, Surinder, we must move from the knowledge to the realization. The moment we see we have realization, Surinder, all problems are solved. Do you agree? Have you reached a stage, Surinder, where you feel all problems are solved, or you still have problems? You have problems or no problems? You have problems. That means you have the knowledge. You must convert the knowledge into realization. The moment, Surinder, you have realization, all problems will be solved. Every problem in your life will come to an end. Navjot Singh, how to overcome poverty? Navjot Singh, anybody has poverty, come to me. I'll give you a job. Your poverty is solved. Huh? Sudeep, please take the name Sudeep. Anybody has poverty, please make sure Sudeep Bhargava is the poverty controller. Anybody has poverty? Do you know something? Sudeep, I'll tell you something. You know what is the poverty rate in this world? Do you know, Sudeep, do you know or you don't know? The poverty rate in this world is less than 5%. The poverty rate in this world is less than 5%. In some countries, less than 2 or 3%. But people make it look like poverty is 80%. You know who are the people who have poverty? They're lazy people. They don't want to work. Otherwise, you don't need to have poverty. You can get up and you can move out of your damaged seat and you can get a job. You can do some job. Poverty means you have nothing to eat. No. So Navjot Singh, anybody has poverty, Navjot, please take Sudeep. Sudeep Bhargava is on Zoom every week. You contact Sudeep Bhargava, he's the poverty controller. He will solve it. Okay, Sudeep? Got it? Yes, Sudeep? Yes, Sudeep is saying thumbs up. Means any problem, Sudeep will solve the problem. Sagai Raj, why the people go for suicide? People go for suicide because they are ignorant. They think they are the depressed mind. They think they are the suffering body. They are going for suicide because they don't realize they are the immortal soul. They don't realize that suicide is not the end. Suicide means that you have to come back again and again, and you have to suffer again. So what is the point of you doing suicide? Because if you do suicide, you have to come back and suffer. But people are ignorant of this problem. Second last question, how to deal with anger? Let go of your ego. Harsh Agarwal, you are not having anger. Your ego has anger. Give up your ego and you will let go of anger. That is a simple solution. Please read the book. Let go of the ego and you will find God. Last question from Manikanta. How not to get distracted from studies? Getting focused in study is the ability to still the mind. The mind is like a monkey. It keeps on jumping from thought to thought. Just like the monkey jumps from branch to branch, the mind is thinking 50 thoughts a minute. It is 50,000 thoughts a day. Stop the monkey, Monkey. Cut the tail, EY. Make it a monk. Make it a silent monk. EY means ever yelling. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ever yelling. Yeah, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that. This is what the mind is doing. Therefore, you are suffering. My dear friends, I've answered all your questions. If you have a problem, we can solve it like this. The problems, any problem in the world, the solution is one. Overcome ignorance, realize the truth, be enlightened that you are the divine soul. Once you are enlightened, all problems are solved. I can challenge you, any problem in this world can be solved with enlightenment. And the enlightenment book is in your hand. Next week, like Krishna Sarma suggested, once again, we will start with 10 minutes of this book. We will be talking only 10 minutes of this book, Enlightenment Life book. And then we will get on to the subject of God realization. Thank you for being on this call, dear Margaret, Shivoham, Sanjay Das, Veena Krate. Thank you, Krishna Sarma, Hitkariji, Shivoham, and thank you, Vageshan, Kumar Swami, Ashok Chotwani, Hema and Ashok Nichani. Thank you, Rajendra Bakwana, Girish and Amma. Thank you for being on this call. Samita Gupta, Rajaratnam, Chandresh, I missed you in the beginning. Good you joined. Sudeep Bhargava, Komal, Sara, thank you for being on this call. Maggie, I think you're Divya. Kulveer Singh, thank you. Motkula Anand, Mona, Srikant, Gautam, Siva, Harsh Agarwal, Pratima, Ashok Nichani and Hema is coming back again. Rajan, thank you for being on this call. Lakshmi, Alice, Karan Singh, thank you. Ajitek, thank you. Rekha, Shikha Singh, Abhinav, thank you for being on this call. Dr. Surinder Goyal, Avinash, Janvi, I hope you got your answer, Janvi. I didn't see you, but I hope you got the answer. Samiruddin, thank you for being on this call. And the rest of you, I cannot see you. And because I cannot see you, I still want to thank you for being on this call. I look forward to your divine presence next Friday on the topic God realization. May God bless you and may you all have an amazing evening. And remember this, any problem in your life, any problem in your life, the solution is one. Many problems, one solution. Overcome the ignorance and realize the truth. God bless you.